Finally, it's time to get those large jellies which we prepared earlier and stick them out onto the range. We want to illustrate the difference between the two main styles of hunting rounds, plastic-tipped bullets and soft-point bullets. We start by shooting a .223 plastic-tipped bullet into our big jelly. It wobbles, but it doesn't fall down. We spin the mould around and approach from the other end. Now we're going to use the Norma Oryx 223, a soft point bullet. We now have two bullets to compare. The 223 soft point bullet has also penetrated the gel, but at what cost to the integrity of the two bullets and the integrity of our game?
And the one on the right of the screen is the, look at that, the soft point, and the one on the left is the ballistic tip.
Yes.
Now, why is then the ballistic tip so popular in the UK?
Mainly because the people are meat hunting, and if you're meat hunting, you're often taking neck shots. You want the bullet to disintegrate as soon as it touches anything, so that even if you haven't hit the neck bone itself, you will still destroy the windpipes and the blood vessels. So if you're taking head and neck shots, you want a very frangible bullet.
I mean, if that were to go into the rib cage of a red deer, it's not going to reach the heart, is it?
No, and where the problem comes is if you hit the shoulder, it may not even reach the lungs.
So you're saying that the soft point is better for heart shots and the ballistic tip is better for neck shots?
Yes, if you're taking head and neck shots, you're just hunting for meat, the ballistic tip is the right choice.
Okay.
If you're a trophy hunter and you actually want the head and the cape, then you want a soft point. You want the bullet to go through, you want it to destroy the heart and the lungs. And this one, the ballistic tip, if you slip it behind the shoulder into the lungs, it'll often destroy the cape. It'll destroy the skin. So it's not a great choice for the trophy hunter.
So you're going to cut this open?
Yes. Well, one, we don't have to do much cutting open. The expansion has actually torn the gel apart. And
you're going to dig that round out.
The bullet is essentially intact.
Quite a lot smaller than it used to be.
Oh yes, it's totally expanded, but the weight loss is almost nil.
So what if you weighed that against the original?
Original, it's pretty much 100% weight retention.
Right.
Those who witter about lead loss, nil.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. You can see that the jacket is still in there. It's just everything is folded back. Yeah, that's absolute perfect performance. It's the trademark signature of the Oryx. This one, there's actually nothing really to find.
Oh what, it's all disintegrated?
It has totally disintegrated.
Which is what you want.
Yes.
So that does a great deal of damage, but quite near the surface of the animal.
Yes, maximum penetration there is really 4 inches.
Okay, so for foxes, 223, I mean this is perfect. You don't want to go further than 4 inches.
Well, depends whether you actually want the skin or not, and if you're just vermin control, this is perfect.
Right.
And as I say, if you're shooting roe or monkjack for meat,
yes,
and you're taking head and neck shots, again, you're going to chop the neck off and throw that away, and the actual meat is fine.
You can't shoot roe with a 223 in the UK,
okay,
but in England certainly. Okay, that explains that absolutely perfectly. Should we try with a bigger?
Let's try with something a little more significant.
Good.
The fox shooting bullets did their stuff. Now it's time for a deer round. The 308 with a Norma plastic tipped bullet and a Norma Oryx soft point bullet. The plastic tipped bullet blows the gel off its bench, and so does the soft point bullet. This calibre really does pack a punch.
The ballistic tip, it's only gone in 8 inches.
That much, yep.
And there's an empty jacket, bits of it have penetrated a bit further.
Yes.
But the jacket actually only went in 8 inches.
I can see the bits of the green just
strewn along the bullet path.
But it's done a lot of damage at this end.
Yes.
So again, this is sort of within that much of the deer, which is good enough for a heart shot on a red deer. And
it is, but it's marginal.
But it's probably better for a neck shot.
It is. It's marginal if you've got to take an angled shot through the stomach, and a poor angle shot. Again, it's not a trophy hunter's bullet. there's the Oryx. It's gone in, what's that, 6, 12, just over 12 inches.
So that's about a 3/4, 2/3 of the way through a red deer, really,
Yes.
at the heart area.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's absolutely perfect. Again, 100% weight retention.
Quite big.
Yes, quite big, but massive amounts of initial trauma.
Yes.
Nearly as much actually as the ballistic tip.
Okay. Yeah.
Very, very effective bullet.
Right. Okay. Which would you choose for red deer when you go stalking for fun yourself?
I would choose the Oryx. I want to choose the deer that I want, and I don't want to be limited to neck and head shots. And if I see a nice trophy that I want to collect, I want to be able to collect it. I'm not hunting purely to sell the meat. If I was, well, then the ballistic tip would be a better choice. And then obviously you're limited on the shots that you take, but that's the price you pay for perfectly delivered meat to the restaurant.